In the early days of January 2023, the town of Cohasset, Massachusetts, became the focal point of a chilling case that gripped the nation. The disappearance of Ana Walshe, a 39-year-old mother of three, and the subsequent investigation led to the arrest of her husband, Brian Walshe. As the details of the case unfolded, a disturbing narrative of deceit, betrayal, and murder emerged, shocking both the local community and the broader public. Ana Walshe, a successful real estate executive originally from Serbia, was last seen on New Year's Day, January 1, 2023. According to her husband, Brian Walshe, Ana was supposed to fly from Boston to Washington, D.C., for work. However, she never boarded her flight, and her colleagues grew concerned when she failed to show up for work the next day. Ana was reported missing on January 4 by both her employer and Brian. Initially, Brian Walshe told investigators that Ana had left their home in Cohasset around 4 a.m. on January 1, taking a rideshare to the airport. He claimed that he stayed home with their three young children and had no knowledge of what happened to her afterward. At first glance, Brian's account seemed plausible, but inconsistencies in his story and subsequent discoveries would soon unravel his narrative. As investigators delved deeper into Ana's disappearance, they uncovered several troubling pieces of evidence that pointed to foul play. The first major red flag was Brian Walshe's behavior in the days following his wife's disappearance. Surveillance footage showed him visiting multiple stores, including a Home Depot, where he purchased cleaning supplies, tarps, and other suspicious items. This was highly unusual, given that his wife was missing and he claimed to be searching for her. Further investigation revealed that Brian had lied about his whereabouts during the time of Ana's disappearance. He initially told police that he had taken his son to get ice cream on January 2, but surveillance footage showed him at the Home Depot on that same day. Moreover, he was seen on video wearing a mask and gloves, which investigators found suspicious. As investigators continued to piece together Brian's movements, they discovered even more damning evidence. A search of the Walshe home revealed bloodstains in the basement, along with a damaged knife. This discovery led investigators to consider the possibility that Ana had been murdered and that Brian had attempted to cover up the crime. As investigators dug deeper into Brian Walshe's background, they uncovered a troubling history of deceit and criminal activity. Brian had been involved in a high-profile art fraud case, in which he was accused of selling fake Andy Warhol paintings to a buyer for $80,000. He was under house arrest and awaiting sentencing for the art fraud case when Ana disappeared. Brian's history of deceit extended beyond the art fraud case. Investigators learned that he had a pattern of manipulating those around him, including his own family. Court documents revealed that his father had accused him of being a sociopath, who had tried to steal from him and who had a long history of lying and deceit. These revelations painted a picture of a man who was capable of extreme dishonesty and manipulation, further raising suspicions about his involvement in Ana's disappearance. On January 8, 2023, just days after Ana was reported missing, Brian Walshe was arrested on charges of misleading a police investigation. Prosecutors alleged that he had provided false information to investigators in an attempt to cover up his involvement in Ana's disappearance. The charge of misleading police was based on his inconsistent statements and the evidence that contradicted his account of events. As the investigation continued, the evidence against Brian mounted. On January 17, 2023, he was formally charged with the murder of his wife, Ana Walshe. Prosecutors presented a chilling timeline of events, supported by surveillance footage, phone records, and forensic evidence. They alleged that Brian had murdered Ana in their home on New Year's Day, dismembered her body, and disposed of the remains in various locations. Key to the prosecution's case was the discovery of Ana's DNA on some of the items Brian had purchased at the Home Depot, including the tarps and cleaning supplies. Investigators also found evidence that Brian had conducted internet searches on topics related to disposing of a body, further implicating him in the crime. While the exact motive behind Ana's murder remains unclear, several possible explanations have been suggested. One theory is that financial troubles may have played a role. Brian Walshe was facing significant legal and financial challenges due to his involvement in the art fraud case, and Ana was reportedly the primary breadwinner for the family. It is possible that these pressures created tension in their marriage, leading to a violent confrontation. Another potential motive could be related to Ana's desire to separate from Brian. Some reports suggested that Ana had been planning to leave her husband, and this may have triggered a violent reaction from him. Brian's history of manipulative and controlling behavior lends credence to the idea that he may have resorted to violence to prevent her from leaving. The case against Brian Walshe quickly became a media sensation, capturing the public's attention with its shocking details and tragic elements. The image of a successful, seemingly happy family shattered by a brutal crime resonated with many, and the case sparked widespread discussions about domestic violence, manipulation, and the lengths to which some individuals will go to cover up their crimes. As Brian Walshe awaits trial, the legal proceedings continue to unfold. His defense team has maintained his innocence, arguing that the evidence against him is circumstantial and that there is no definitive proof that Ana is dead.